Hello viewers, I have a 2002 Toyota Camry. This vehicle came with a battery light on. Right now it's off. We're going to try to crank the vehicle. Nothing. So I'm going to recharge the battery and then we're going to try again. It came with the battery light on. The customer complains that he has to charge his battery at least twice a week in order to keep the vehicle running. So upon coming and checking the alternator, that's the voltage we have the alternator. It's not charging. He has a new alternator in there. I can see even the tag is still in there. It's a remanufactured alternator. But upon inspection, I noticed that the plug on the alternator, the tap is broken. So I was playing with it with the plug, and then the vehicle will start working. Look, check that. Check the voltage. See, even it changes sound. It changes the sound of the engine, like something is drawing more power from it. This could seem very simple, but it creates a problem. They replaced the alternator, but they were having this issue. So my conclusion is that this plug, under vibration or under power, the engine creates a vibration and the plug comes undone. So, and then it loses the ability for the computer to tell the alternator to start charging the battery. That's the situation on this vehicle, and we're going to replace the plug with a new one. Right, to replace our plug, we're going to first start by removing this little white piece of plastic here inside. I'm using just a small pin that I flatten it in order to get it in there and remove it. Once we get it close enough out, we're going to remove with the pliers. The new one comes with the new plastic as well, so don't worry about pulling this one out. There we go. Now, after we have removed that, there are little pins inside that you're gonna have to push in. But first we're gonna take notice our wiring locations, where each one goes. So when we put a new one, the new plug, we're gonna put them the same way, the same direction. This wiring right here, we're not gonna use it. We're gonna remove them, and we're gonna use the same factory wiring. We're not gonna make any cuts to the wiring. So here inside, it's gonna be hard to see, but inside there are little tabs. What you're gonna do is you're gonna push on the tab up, and then you're gonna pull on the wire at the same time. So I'm gonna try to do that. All right. I think it's right here. Here we got our first one out. I'm gonna try the next one. So here we have a new plug. We're gonna do the same thing on the side and on on the inside tabs here on the in. It's hard to see it inside, but those are clips inside. You're just gonna push it in and move it up a little bit, then pull on the wire. I have already done this one, so I have all three out, and we're gonna start. If I remember correctly, we're gonna start with white at the bottom on the left, and then red, and on the middle, and then yellow to the right side. You make sure that all of them are all the way in, and that's how you replace your new plug for your alternator. That's your new plug without even making any cuts to the wiring, any soldering. You're just gonna put it back on their sleeve. Like that. That's your new plug. So we're gonna go in there and we're gonna connect it. Nice. New plug. Let me start the vehicle. I'm gonna start the vehicle and I wanna see. Let's see how many volts do we have here of the on my multimeter. So there you guys have it. There's 14.2 volts. If you have any problems related to the battery or alternator, check your plug. You can have a broken plug, or even the wire inside could be rusty, corroded, and that's why it's not making good contact. That's your first step right there, and this vehicle is fixed, so no more charging issues. So here we have our battery light on, flickering. It means that it's charging, and sometimes it's not getting enough charge. That's why the light is on. Again, this is 2002 Toyota Camry. I'm gonna show you the what it's actually doing over here at the alternator. Have a charging of 12.55 volts. I'm just gonna move this plug up a little bit, put a little bit of pressure on the upside, and see what happens here. And pay attention to the engine sound. All I'm doing, I'm putting pressure on the plug up. The engine sound changed as well. We got a good battery voltage charging. I have released the pressure on the plug, and look at that. We're gonna have to replace the alternator. The alternator is having a bad contact inside the electronic component. Alternator replacement. We're going to remove our positive battery. You can remove your negative if you like, 10 millimeter bolt. Then we're going to remove this one. I have already removed it, so I'm just going to show you what you need to do. In this case, in this scenario, you're going to release the tension on your serpentine belt. The serpentine belt is a 19 millimeter bolt right here on your tensioner. You're going to press it down on clockwise. Then you're going to remove your I believe this is a 14 millimeter bolt on the top, and there's a 12 millimeter bolt on the bottom of the alternator right over there. Release, take out this nut on the top, then you plug. Sometimes the alternator is hard to take out after removing the bolts. Then you're just gonna use a pry bar and pry it out, pry it loose. We have a new alternator here. Easy replacement. So we're just gonna set it around down there. We're gonna put 2 bolts. One bolt is gonna be on this side over here, the big one. I don't know if you can see it on there. The other one over here on the bottom. So right after I have installed, you can check the routing on the serpentine belt. Make sure you tighten your bolt over here, the 12 millimeter bolt on the bottom over here. Then your nut over here on the top of the alternator. That one I recommend not to put too much pressure on it because they're plastic on the bottom. They attempt to break. Connect your connector. Then we're gonna connect our battery back, and that's all you need to know. Just remember, whatever you took out or break loose, remember to tighten it back.